Hi, it's me Jacqueline. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to the channel, then please subscribe my channel and visit my Patreon page, link in the description. This story begins in a city in the USA. Let's call it Lima, Ohio. Our 15-year-old protagonist is Jerry Crawford, a helpful and curious young man whose inquisitiveness often leads him into unexpected situations. His mother, Alice, is currently between jobs but has an important interview today. Jerry's father, Mike Crawford, went on a government mission 3 years ago. His plane disappeared in a storm over the Atlantic, leaving Alice with the condolences of a grateful nation, a handshake from a senator, and an unexpected $1.5 million insurance payout. Now, with the stage set, let's begin our story. The interview. Jerry, honey, I'm leaving in 10 minutes, Alice called from the kitchen. I'll stop by the supermarket on my way home. Need anything special? Jerry thought for a moment before responding. How about some mint chocolate chip ice cream? Also, we're out of rubbing alcohol. That's already on the list, Alice replied, along with ice cream, bread, sandwich ingredients, vegetables, shrimp, and salad fixings. Ranch, islands, or French dressing? Doesn't matter, Mom. We have the extra virgin olive oil, I'll use that. Alice entered the room, smiling. Wish me luck, Ja. Mom, you don't need luck. I know you'll get the job, Jerry laughed. So, do you think you'll like selling lingerie? Alice raised an eyebrow. And how do you know that, young man? Grinning, Jerry replied, I was the one who showed you the ad in the paper, remember? I said, this is perfect for you, Mom, and you said, I'll give them a call for an interview. Oh, right, Alice admitted, laughing. I guess I got caught up in the excitement. Well, how do I look? Jerry examined his mother, who was stunning in her turquoise skirt suit. Her blonde hair was styled in an immaculate French twist, her makeup was flawless, and her polished 2-inch heels complemented her perfectly aligned black stockings. To Jerry, she was the epitome of elegance. Mom, you're the most beautiful woman I know. Alice smiled warmly. And I love you too, sweetheart. Now behave yourself, I might be a little late. If this doesn't work out, I have another job lead. Okay, Mom. Love ya. Right back at ya, Alice said as they walked to the door hand in hand. If I'm late, put the water on around 5:30. Sure, Jerry agreed as Alice kissed his cheek. He could tell she was nervous. She had married straight out of high school and never had to job hunt before. Mom, relax. It's not like we're struggling. Standing on the porch, Alice looked at her son, reflecting on how well he had turned out. He was kind, artistic, and thoughtful, a gentle soul. I know, sweetie. I just want to do something different, meet new people, and experience life outside the house for a while. No response was needed. Jerry waved as she backed her Range Rover out of the driveway, silently mouthing, good luck and safe journey home. Then, he mentally reviewed his plans for the day: dishes, laundry, reorganizing the bookcase, vacuuming, dusting, and finishing a book on the Peloponnesian Wars. Not too much. If he knew his mom, she'd do some shopping, chat with people, and return later than expected. Jerry smirked, anticipating some personal time. He went upstairs and ran a bath, adding his mother's favorite lilac and rose-scented bath salts. His long hair and delicate features often made him the target of teasing at school. Unlike most boys, he had smooth, hairless skin, neatly manicured nails, and a wiry frame honed by long-distance running rather than contact sports. Stripping off his clothes, he tossed them into the hamper and sank into the scented water. He lathered up with his mother's perfumed soap, washing away any trace of boy smell. Then, he shampooed and conditioned his hair, wishing it were long enough to style like his mother's. At this point, it's worth noting that Jerry deeply admired his mother and her sisters. He loved and respected women, wanting to be as close to them as possible, though not necessarily be one. Still, he couldn't shake a nagging thought. What if the guys at school suspect I'm not as macho as them? If Jerry was too feminine and spent too much time with girls, the guys would call him names queer, fairy, sissy, faggot, and his reputation would be ruined. If he acted too macho, he'd be expected to play along with their tough guy games. It was a no-win situation. Girls wanted the macho guys, but he wasn't one. He wanted girls, yet because he wasn't man enough, they didn't want him. It struck Jerry as odd. Shouldn't a girl prefer someone who respects her over someone who just uses her? After finishing his bath, Jerry blow-dried his hair and wrapped it in a turban. He dusted himself with lilac-scented talcum powder, secured a towel around his chest, and stepped into his mother's room. He switched on the radio, tuning it to a classical station. As familiar notes filled the air, he muttered, "All of the dead," picturing Sharon ferrying souls across the river Styx. Then, he laid out his wardrobe for the day's chores. Dropping the towel, he fastened a sanitary pad onto a belt, pulled it up, and adjusted it. Next, he dusted a white sarong-style girdle with lilac powder, stepped into it, and pulled it up, letting the 6 garters dangle. Slipping his arms through the straps of a white lace bra, he hooked it behind his back, grateful for his flexibility, then filled the C cups with cotton-stuffed cloth forms salvaged from an old Halloween costume. A peach-colored, lace-edged taffeta slip followed. He loved the soft, sksh sound it made as he walked. Now, the stockings, he murmured. Taupe, suntan, white, or black. Black dress and shoes, so black stockings it is. Retrieving a pair from the bathroom hamper, he sat on the bed and carefully rolled one onto his left leg, fastening the garters before checking the seam with his fingers. He repeated the process for the right leg as toccata and fugue played in the background. Not bad. Both seams are straight, he noted, running a hand over the silky material. Next came a pair of peach-colored petipants with lace trim. His mother had once called them sissy panties, but he preferred their delicate look over the more masculine boy leg designs. Finally, he slipped on his mother's black Mary Janes, buckling the single strap. With each new item, Jerry felt his masculinity slip away, transforming him into Nancy, his femme self. At this point, let's clarify. Jerry doesn't do this because he wants to be a woman. He does it to understand and integrate both masculine and feminine aspects of himself to become a complete person. Now, back to the story. Now, the dress. The black dress Jerry had chosen had a scoop neck, white detachable cuffs, and a back zipper, his mom's idea for versatility. He bent a paperclip into an S shape, tied a string to one end, and hooked the other to the zipper. Dropping the dress over his head, he slid his arms through the sleeves and used the string to zip it up. A quick tug at the hem, a check for any slip showing, and the white cuffs were attached. For the final touches, he fastened a tangerine scrunchie around his high ponytail, clipped on pearl drop earrings, and secured a June Cleaver pearl necklace. A light spritz of his mother's perfume completed the look. Nancy was ready to begin her chores. Since he was keeping this a secret from his mom, he avoided nail polish, heavy perfume, and makeup, too hard to explain if discovered. What's chores is mine. Downstairs, Nancy tied on a frilly white apron and tackled the breakfast dishes. After returning last night's books to the shelf and dusting the surfaces, she moved on to the upstairs chores. Hauling the vacuum up the stairs, she worked her way through the bedrooms as Wagner's Ride of the Valkyries echoed through the house. God, I hope no one hears. Oh, right. No neighbors, she mused, vacuuming the hallway. With the bedrooms cleaned, beds made, and laundry gathered, Nancy the maid was ready for a lunch break. She lugged the vacuum downstairs, stowed it in the closet, and made her way to the kitchen. The front door swung open. Alice stepped inside, with 2 women and a teenage girl, just as Nancy entered the room. The drawings are upstairs. I'll get them, Alice began, then froze, eyes locking onto the unfamiliar woman in her house. A woman who looked suspiciously like her son. Jerry, she asked cautiously. Yipes. One of the women took immediate charge. Alice, why don't you and I go upstairs and get those drawings? Julia, come with us. My dear, would you be so kind as to make us some tea? Thank you very much. Angela, please help with the tea. With that, the three women went upstairs, leaving Jerry standing there, stunned and open-mouthed. "We'll have tea ready in about 15 minutes, Mom," the girl named Angela called up the stairs. Then, turning to him, she said, "My name's Angela, Angela Cole. What's yours?" Now it's Mud." "Well, is that Ms. or Miss Mud? Where's the kitchen?" It's in the, "Oh, come on, I'll find it myself," she said, rolling her eyes as they started walking together. "You know, you're a great conversationalist. Let's start over, dear. My name is Angela. What's yours?" Cough. Grunt. "It's Jerry. When I'm dressed like this, it's Nancy," he finally managed. As they walked, he stole a glance at her. She was his height, maybe a bit lighter, with beautiful auburn hair pulled up into a ponytail, much like his own. Reaching the kitchen, she asked, "If you start a pot of water, I'll set the table." "What kind of tea do you have?" Jerry had calmed down by now. She was treating him like a person, so he figured he should return the favor. "There's Earl Grey, Assam, Oolong, green with mint, green with lemon, mate, and a black and green blend in the back." "Any preference?" "Any green tea is fine." "Do you have scones or tea biscuits?" "We have imported English biscuits and scones." "Wow! Mom will be thrilled," Angela said, genuinely impressed. Soon, the teapot was filled, the table was set, each cup holding a different type of tea, and a tray of scones and biscuits took center stage. As they worked, Jerry got a better look at Angela. She was possibly a year older than him, with striking green eyes, flawless skin, and slightly arched eyebrows. She carried herself with a natural grace and looked like she might be athletic. Jerry hesitated before saying, "I know you must think there's something wrong with me." "Whoa! There's nothing wrong with being a girl," Angela interrupted. "Yes, you're a guy in a dress, but since you're here alone, no one's forcing you to do this. So, either you believe yourself to be a girl, you want to be one, or dressing like one makes you feel closer to women. There could be other reasons, but these seem to fit best." Jerry blinked. "You're not weirded out by this?" Angela grinned. "No. Actually, I'm flattered. My last boyfriend was nice at first, but his true colors showed before a football game. He said, 'I don't know why any girl would turn down a football player. Most would do anything I ask.' Then he told me to give him a blowjob under the bleachers after the game. I think he's still waiting." Jerry looked confused, so Angela continued, "Boys take. They take charge, take women as brides, and just take. Women, on the other hand, give. They nourish children, give birth, help babies take their first steps. The only time things are reversed is when men give orders and women take them. But you seem to want both." "How do you mean that?" Nancy asked cautiously. "Didn't you just take orders to make tea for my mother?" "Oh, by the way, her name is Marty. And if I'm not mistaken, you're wearing a maid's uniform, right?" Nancy laughed. "Oh, this old thing? I just needed something to keep the dress clean." "That's a typical female response," Angela pointed out. "Why's that?" "Men joke at other people's expense. Women are self-deprecating. A new dress becomes this old thing. It's just how we're taught." Voices echoed in the hall leading to the kitchen. "Don't worry about him. He'll be just fine. These are really good. I think this will work out well." "I really am sorry about." As the trio entered, Marty smiled warmly. "Well, dear, I suppose you know my name by now, Marty Cole. I own the Feminicity block downtown. Your mother is my newest employee. The young lady with you is my daughter, Angela." She then gestured toward a stunning woman with jet black hair. "And this is Julia Bruns, manager of Beautiful Dreamer, the one-stop shop for everything bridal. Now, is the tea ready, dear? And what is your name, sweetheart?" Jerry took a deep breath, hesitated, and then made a decision. He bowed his head slightly, curtsied, and said, "I am your most humble servant, Nancy." "At your command, madam." Marty let out a hearty laugh. "First of all, my dear Nancy, you are not a servant. You are a lovely young lady. Second, never lower your head. That lowers you, too. Keep your head up high. Be proud of yourself, always. And third, I am Marty. Not Madam or anything else. Alice, I really like this child of yours. And that was it. No shouting, no lectures, no judgment. Just 5 ladies having afternoon tea. Well, one of them was still having a cheese and bologna sandwich. Growing kids need their sustenance, after all. Please subscribe for the next part and visit my Patreon page for early access.